What's going on, man? West of the 110 back again with your West Warrior Sunday interviews, man. Here with your man Don, man. For those who don't know him personally, you may have seen him on a panel, but today you're gonna get to know a little bit about him, a little bit from him. But as me, he's a brother out of the Windsor Hills area, devoted father to his daughter in a thriving medical field. Stands as a pillar in his community, decorated for his dedication, respected for his wisdom, and admired for his lifelong commitment to uplifting others. With deep roots in Windsor Hills, he carries a legacy of resilience, leadership, and purpose, always pushing forward with pride and grace. That's my brother Don. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on, man? What's the word?
Hey, change ain't no change, my brother. Trying to get a little bit better and ain't trying to get worse. You know what I mean? You know how it is on these streets these days. You never know what you get. It's like Forrest Gump says, it's like a chocolate. You never know what you're going to get on these streets, bro. And in life,
man.
Especially right these days. You don't know what's around the corner. Hopefully it's a good thing and not a bad thing. People
right,
trying to put us in a box. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying. We got a little delay.
I'll say people try to put us in a little box and corner us up, and you know what they fail to realize is we've been in boxes and cornered up since the beginning, and we always find a way to get out of it. We get through that complicated maze and we still survive. So they keep pushing, we keep ducking and swerving, and we still get through it.
Yeah, man, you're right, man. You're right. I mean, you can't say nothing, no false allegations about that. I mean, you're right. I mean, everything that's been pretty much thrown at us, we've prevailed at and exceeded. Like we've always been taught. Us as kids, we taught our kids. Our parents were taught that. They were taught that by their parents, and their parents were taught that to not only you don't only have to know this, you have to be better at it because they're already going, put more on you.
I mean, you look at it, think about it. Back in the days, the food they threw away. Like when you take your bone, you eating your bone on your chicken, you throw it to your dog, And what they were throwing to us was equivalent to that. The chitlins, the hog maw, everything they felt was waste, we made a delicacy out of it. And still surviving. And now that delicacy done quadruple as far as price is concerned. And the stuff that was a throwaway for them, now they eat it. Go figure.
Real talk. You know how many people I know? You know how many people I know who are white and Hispanic always say, "Yo, eat, man. Hey, man, where can I go down there and get some good soul food in the hood, man? They got chitlins, they got neck bones. Like, man, what you know about neck bones and chitlins, man? See, we don't even eat that shit no more."
Yeah, oxtails. Yeah, real talk.
And it's so crazy. You mentioning oxtails, real quick before we get in these questions. Like, hell, you go to some stores, you used to have to go pay for the seafood first, and then they would bring it to you. Now they make you pay for them oxtails first, because shit, they like $12.99 to $13.99. Some places $18.99 a pound in the hood.
Yeah. Real talk. But I mean, it's like I said, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, hey, it's real. It's going on. I mean, and only reason these prices get jacked up, let's be real. I'm always say this, man. I'm not knocking nobody's hustle. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these people, these big corporations, whatever you want to call them, they put a product out there. They ain't forcing you to buy it.
Yeah. That's true talk. That's true. And us.
So, it has to be on you. You got to care about yourself and your, people, like your children, family. You got to care about your people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense for you to practice health yourself and and everybody else around you is living bad. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
Yeah,
so I mean, you got to try to encourage everybody.
yeah. And then, it's like I said, it's like that old saying I be saying that you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And if they're
True.
making those prices the way they are, granted, like you say, everybody else is eating it, but nobody eat it like we do. So if we cease to eat it, it's going to cease to sell. Just like that. Now, will the population, the Afro-American population cease to eat it? I doubt it very seriously.
Fact.
I mean, come on. I mean, and to think about it in its totality, E, um, how many people today? Now listen very carefully to what I'm saying. How many people today would honestly, and I'm talking about our people, would do what those brothers and sisters did back in the day, where when they boycotted. It was like, we ain't riding the bus. They either walked or got a ride. They either walked 10, 12 miles a day or they got a ride. Now think about it. These days, how many people would do that?
I mean, I'm gonna be real. I try to encourage people to come walk and exercise with me. Just walk, a mile. They won't do that. So I know they ain't finna walk no
Yeah,
6 miles to work and 6 miles home.
yeah, yeah. Or like I say, 10 or 12.
10 or
No.
12. And so crazy. This is why they say numbers are important. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you have to break it down, know your numbers, know your body. Like me, I know I can do 4 miles in about 20 minutes. So which meaning
Yeah,
if I had a job where I work 6 miles, I can get there in roughly about 30 minutes if I wanted to jog.
yeah, 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 yeah. You know how you do, make a little pace, need a little rest, little pace, 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 pace. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Get your rest in between, dilly daggy, mope a lope. Then, by the time it's all put together, you're there probably in a better time than you anticipated.
Yeah.
And that's a
Yep.
good
Yep.
thing.
Yeah, you right, man. But like I say, man, you ready to get in these questions real quick?
Oh, yeah, shoot them up.
All right, man. While we on this topic, a lot of stuff that's hindering the black community. So this question I got for you, this first one is in what ways has alcohol, disproportionately affected the black community, and why do you think this issue isn't more widely addressed?
Well, answering the last question that you put up forward, I'll answer that one first. It's not addressed simply because of economics. Plain and simple. I said, I've went over this several times before, and I'll say it
Yeah.
again. Alcohol is without a doubt, by far, on this planet, bar any drug, is the number one selling drug on the planet. Bar none. It's literally $1 trillion business. More. And they don't want to talk about it, really. I mean, think about it. It's the only drug that they don't give the full attention of how harmful it is, simply by being a carcinogen. Have you ever heard them say on the TV about it being a carcinogen on the radio? Have you ever heard it? Have you seen it written on the bottle?
I'm gonna be real. I don't think people pay attention to that, especially reading the bottle, because they too busy getting what's in it in a cup.
Yeah. But if you read a bottle right now, you won't see it. You won't see it. And if it is on there, the print is so micro that you're gonna need a electronic electronic uh scope to look into it to see it,
Well,
because
hey, not to cut you off, I gotta.
no average microscope gonna be able to see that.
No, it won't. But I gotta I got a can of brew right here. I'm not gonna say which one it is, but they have a government warning on it. It says one,
Yeah,
according to Surgeon General, women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy because of the risk of birth defects. Two, consumption
yeah,
of alcohol beverages impairs your ability to drive a car or operate machinery and may cause health problems.
yes.
So I mean,
And
some of them are labeled. So I mean, like I say, I'm not trying to
I didn't hear nothing.
play
I didn't hear
bad with
nothing
it,
out of there about a. I didn't hear nothing out of there about it being a carcinogen.
yeah, well, I guess it can be added to that where they say we said it causes health problems.
Well, okay, 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 okay. A broad brush.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. They just don't get specific, but okay, okay. I can respect that. And
So,
then, like I
but
said,
why do you think? Why do you think
go
though?
ahead.
Like, why do you think it's still not? Why do you think it's not spread out widely, more talked about?
About the problem with alcohol. Well, I mean, like I say, think about it. What makes more money than alcohol? Name me a product that makes more money than alcohol, and tell me where alcohol isn't sold.
I mean, alcohol sold everywhere. It's even given out in some religious establishments.
Exactly. That's what I can remember. Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's given out in establishments,
Hey, well, let me.
weddings,
Yeah,
bar
weddings, bar
mitzvahs.
mitzvahs. Not to children, but to adults who are there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So where is it available? And it's available everywhere, everywhere, every event. You can go to a
I
baseball game.
mean,
You can go to a football game. You can go to a basketball game. You can buy alcohol anywhere, anywhere. And now look at the Clippers Stadium. Now they can serve alcohol after 2 o'clock a.m. I think they can sell it till up to like 6 in the morning or something. I'm not gonna say I'm 100% right. It might be, 2 or 3, but it's past the old time. It's the time that you can buy from the liquor store. What time the liquor store closed down?
depend on where you're at. Friday, Saturday, some stay open till 2.
But they can't sell after 2, huh?
No, no, alcohol can be sold till after 2.
Yeah, and the Clippers owner got a special exemption.
Just yeah, because I think they host concerts or something.
They do, and the elite, they can only sell it in the boxes in the party rooms, not to the general population out in the
Oh,
stands.
so basically the money, big money.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let me let me run this by you real quick. Well, some California lawmakers are currently considering a bill, Assembly Bill 342, AB 342, that would allow certain bars and restaurants to serve alcohol until 4 a.m. on Fridays, Saturdays, and state holidays. This proposal aims to extend the current statewide last call for 2 a.m., and it's designed to help revitalize downtown economies and boost tourism, especially as California prepare to host major events like the World Cup in 2026 and the 2028 Olympics.
Fascinating. Well, I mean, it goes basically down to the beginning of the conversation. It's about loot, no other reason. It's about money. You said it in the first paragraph that you said. It's about money. So, how much is our fellow man worth?
I mean, just because it isn't being sold after two, don't mean it's not being consumed after two. So they figure, hell, we might as well get it.
Well, yeah, yeah. The difference is that you bought it, like you said, at 2. More than likely, everybody glutton, so they'll be through with it by 3:15, depending on the amount of people, and it's over with. But if you're selling it up to 3 to 4, then it's gonna go on until you can go buy it from the store. So in essence, it's pretty much around the clock.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this next question, man. How did your experience running the streets during the late 70s, 80s, shape the wisdom and perspective you got today?
Back then, things were they was atrocious. There's no doubt about it. And learned a lot. I mean, I'll put it like this: if you didn't learn, chances are the people that didn't learn aren't here today, and the ones that are here that didn't learn, you more likely you can't talk to them. It's very few that you can talk to. So from there and now, if you didn't learn, you're either not in a position to speak, and if you did learn, you're in a position to speak, and that means you got through the tyranny that we were going through back then.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for all intents purposes, they didn't start banging in the '60s and hard in the '70s. In the '80s, got off the chain. Early '80s, late night '70s, early '80s got off the chain, and then you think about the crack, and that put another bump in the road for us because, like I know and and I think about this a lot of times, that how many people I know that hit hit the crack hard, and this is totally my opinion. I believe that some people can deal with it and some people can't. I think most couldn't. They're the ones that's not here now. The ones who bodies adapted to it, they're still here. But heck, we all know. I would like to know the numbers personally of how many went before their time because of it. Because as we already know, we know people that hit it, bam, blam, 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 and they gone. They gone. It was hitting every day. And we know people that was hitting every day, they still hanging around. And I absolutely believe if they say went cold turkey and got off of it, they wouldn't be here. It's a part of their body, part of their DNA now.
It's like
It's
alcohol.
intertwined. Yeah, yeah, it's intertwined in them. So it was my perspective. What it taught me, man, is that there's really no change from nothing else since we've been around here. Either you survive or you don't survive, and whether you're affiliated with stuff like that or not, you're still walking a fine line. Because depending on where you are, you gotta watch, look over your shoulder. You gotta look out who's driving up next to you. And I ain't talking about trying to blast on you. I'm talking about gonna end up putting you up under their wheel and keep on driving. And I've seen it all, man. I've seen it all. I've seen people ran over, people high, seen people stab people for stuff. I've seen it all, man. So
Yeah.
what I've learned from that, man, is always keep your head on the swivel. Always have respect for your fellow man. Whether they deserve it or not, respect them, man or woman. I don't care what they do, how they talk, you know, as long as they not putting their hands on you, just leave it alone. Leave it alone because we know a spark can cause a fire. Ask Southern Cal that. Edison
Yeah.
asked them that.
Well, you
A
know what's so
spark.
crazy? Like you said about respect, man. Like some of these people don't respect themselves, and this is, I hate. Well, I ain't gonna say the word hate, but I don't like saying stuff like this. But I mean, it's true. We gotta address our own issues in our own community, not
Yeah.
just alcohol, drugs, a lot of other stuff. And I say that to say this just off respect. Some people gotta have self-respect. Like, I think I told you the story before, but this older black lady, I gave her $5 at the store one time. She was talking about she was hungry, and
Mhm.
she seemed pretty drunk. You could
Yeah.
tell. Anybody that drank
Yeah.
before, like, all right, when people toward the end of being too messed up, they want something to eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she was like, man, I need to get something on my stomach. So I'm like, all right, here go $5. You know what I'm saying? This when I was working, at the airport, and I'm like, and she was just shocked. I gave her $5. I guess she's so used to people giving her $1 or two. You know what I'm saying? And like, she's
Yeah.
like, oh, you giving me this? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you want some head or something? And I'm like,
What
what
the
the
hell?
hell? Like, I'm like, man, y'all, like, wow. And I said, this is a middle aged black woman.
Well, one thing we have to all, agree on, and basically, even those people you got to respect because they're lost. They're lost. And as Christians, we supposed to respect everybody. Now, when people naturally when they test you and disrespect you, you gotta make them respect you. But overall, people like that, just really just look the way other way and be like, you know what, ain't nothing I could do with you. May God bless you and go about your way because you're on a different level. You know, and quite frankly, we need to be on a different level so we can avoid stuff like that. Cause I mean, I know people that would have nutted up on her. You know what I mean? And that, really, and that ain't cool for them.
Yeah.
And that's why I mean we got to be above that. Above them, we got to be like, you know, okay, whatever, bye. And just keep on pushing. Because if you keep on pushing, that means you ain't got time for that little bullshit, and you go towards something that's more productive for you, something that's gonna help you out in the long run, help your mind, your soul, and your conscience. And dealing with people that's gonna interfere with that is gonna upset the balance of what you're trying to do. You want to be calm, you want to be cool, you want to be collective. You don't want to be tensed up, mad. Because when we're mad, especially when we're mad, quite frankly, we're not really thinking like we usually do. And then the madder you get, the worse you get. You know that country. You know how do when you get seriously mad. Like, I'm gonna punch this man in the face. And we don't really need that. You know, because we know who's it's gonna be anyhow. 9 times out of 10, or say 8 out of 10 times. So the
Especially
best
if
way to do it.
alcohol is involved.
Oh shoot, that's another. See, that's another. That's another conversation. I mean, you like I say, I was blessed to have my brother come and take care of me that time. Other than that, man, hell, if you with alcohol, it's easy to be laying on that stretcher, looking at Mister Charlie put that needle in your vein, watching you go to sleep forever. And
Tinky Winky's a nurse, huh?
and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen a lot. You know, that's why your boy, this new DA, he want to make it right, right. You know, he want to give a lot of us the needle. That's why he trying to bring it back now. It's like he's sort of like, what did Trump say? You get those 5 black guys the needle. They all need to be killed. They all need to be executed for murdering that white lady. I mean, for raping that white lady. in Central Park, and, and I know they did it. I know this. I mean, come on, man.
Well,
We
let
don't
me
need
ask you
that.
this. Let me ask you this. Since you're on that topic, you know what I'm saying? Let me ask you this question. Um, I know sometimes you make light of this situation, but why is spiritual discipline, especially regarding sexual restraint, important in today's world? You know, that old saying, why should people keep it in their pants?
Well, I got a couple words for that. Syphilis, AIDS, gonorrhea, and then spiritually, you
Say the
know,
three words.
yeah, and spiritually, if you're doing it spiritually, you're less likely to get caught up like that. I mean, if you're listening to what you being taught spiritually, you you're gonna avoid that. Simple as that. You're gonna avoid it. If you do what the Bible says, if you do and you're doing it with your wife, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Simple as that. There's no getting around it. If you're doing what the Bible tell you to do, and you married, you with your wife, you're not gonna run into no trouble like that if you're doing what you're told to do and ask what to do. Now, if you want to go out on your own, well, like I say, there's plenty of guys out there playing craps with they dicks,
And their
and it's
tongues.
only yeah, and it's inevitable they're gonna crap out. Because if any man out there ever shot dice, you ain't never hit 7 and 11 constantly without crapping out. And it's the same game you playing. You putting your dick on the table, and you're gonna crap out sooner or later. So, I mean, like I said, if you do it spiritually wise, you're fine. You have nothing to worry about. But when you go out on your own, those odds, go against you immensely. And sooner or later, you might not be today, might not be tomorrow, might not be a year from now, 6 months from now, but have no illusion. Sooner or later, you're gonna get burned. That's my perspective. Now, some people probably don't believe it because they haven't crapped out yet. But I have no illusion. The ones that have crapped out, they shaking their head up and down like that nigga ain't lying.
Well, I wish I had that image I seen earlier. I got it on my phone, but I should have put it up. But people probably seen it already. If you haven't seen it, y'all can go to my Instagram and check it out. But it's a photo I shared of. They say right now in Houston they have a high STD rate, and they showed a dude with like all kind of, how ringworms look, but he got that all over his face, lips, and tongue and shit. And I was like, oh my god, he looked like one of them thirsty motherfuckers going around every chick he see. He know he has no time and no chance with. He gonna, hey, let me eat that booty, and she gonna say yeah.
Now that's like some kind of phenomenon now that guys are doing licking butt cut. What do you think about that, man? Because you know, to me, I mean, you know what? And I'm not trying to criticize nobody, but to me, it's not sanitary.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
W-
would you lick the bumper of a waste management truck? No, because that's where waste gets
Yeah,
this, well, it waste comes through, when it's being dumped. But I mean,
yeah,
like I said, to each his own. Some people, I mean, if to people that are married, whatever you do in your bedroom, that's your business, you know what I'm saying? But I don't encourage nobody to go around and if you're not
consume a human feces.
yeah, I don't, would you go? I mean, well, some people do when they eat three tacos. Some of them still got a little boo boo in it, but that's cow shit.
Oh shit! Damn it!
But hey, now, since we on this next question I got for you, like, a lot of people do believe it's a lot of long-term effects that come along with stuff like cocaine. So, so my question to you from, from the 80s, is this still impacting individuals and families within the community today?
And you see it all the time, and you would think they done got past that, but you know what? It's that old cliche. Some people never learn, and they don't. And they they've been addicted for over, well, how long since it's been, since the 80s?
Shit. Uh uh that now that's just crack cocaine. Some of them was already snorting powder, and some may have been doing heroin in the 60s and late 50s if they that old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Although I don't think people snort cocaine no more. I may be wrong,
Shit,
but
man, you see these, and you hate to say it, you see these youngsters. I worked in a school district in the past years, and the stuff you would confiscate from kids, man, and you would find, it's like, these ain't the adults, because no adults are in these areas. Like these kids is, tooting lines and talking about, I'm tired of messing with this bro, and I'm gonna go fuck with old boy that's a female now. And I'm like, damn, this is the
wow,
shit they talking about in schools now. Like, I was like, wow.
wow. Yeah, that's different. You know, and the thing about when I was growing up, those type of guys, they were undercover. You know what I'm saying? They were undercover. They wasn't out in the open. So it's totally different now. They out, flossing that stuff. Like it's the American dream,
Yeah.
and they're
Well,
not knowing they're further from the truth.
a lot of people think it's forced upon a lot of people nowadays. Like I said, to each his own. Like I said, a lot of us can't judge people because we have members in our families, friends, and people we work with who live that lifestyle. So, I mean, like, but a lot of people do think, and I've had some people who are from the LGBTQ community who I do work with have said they don't agree with how some places and establishments force that on people. And these are people who are gay and lesbian who have said this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? That's always been, I've always been under the impression that I don't agree with them doing that. And this is happened. I remember when they first started it, the first time I heard about it, and it was back off in the 90s, probably like about 94, 95. And I remember they were talking about it then, and they were like, well, we've got these new books that they're going to put in the school. And it was like, uh, Mommy's New Roommate, uh, My Dad Has a Best Friend, and stuff like that. And even then, I was like, you know what? I'm against them teaching that. You know, although they went ahead and did it anyhow. And right now, today, I'm still against teaching it. You give a kid a chance to choose their own destination. You don't dictate their destination for them. And that's where I have a problem. That's when 'cause like I say, I don't have no problem with it. Um, I've had somebody in my family that went through that, and it's just not something that I would teach. I would let nature take its course. I mean, don't try to change nature. Now, if that's the way nature planned it, without you teaching it, okay, then it was meant to be. But if you're helping to coerce these young kids, not adults, kids, into making life changing decisions from an adult, then that's wrong. And quite frankly, that adult should go to jail if I was making the laws. Because you shouldn't do that. You let nature take its own course, you don't do it. And if they truly want to go that way, they'll find that way. You don't sit up and influence them and give them a red line, tell them to walk that red line. At the end of that red light is a rainbow that they'll never forget. No, no, uh-uh. You don't do that. So let it take its course, man. Don't try to influence nobody. And that's what they're doing. Teaching, influencing, and in some instances making it mandatory. That's BS. That's BS.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. You're right.
that's my
I
opinion.
mean,
And there's people that
yeah,
won't agree with what I'm saying, but they have their
it's your
opinion. I
opinion.
have mine. Yeah,
Yeah, it's your opinion. Like I say, I respect everybody's opinion. You're not going to agree with everybody's opinion. Some people don't like the opinion of our current president right now, but what can you do about it? You got to respect everybody's opinion. Um, some people don't believe in, some people don't believe in what the Black Panther stood in, but hey, you got to respect their opinion. Some people don't
yeah,
believe what the Klan stood in. Hey, shit, you can't do shit about it.
yeah,
Respect their opinion, whatever. You ain't got to agree with it. Um,
yeah. Like
but
like Robert F. Kennedy, he didn't believe in the measles vaccine. After he killed a few babies, he started believing in it again.
we start believing it, But
Again.
it's just if I mean, people just got to get snapped back into reality. That's just as simple as that. Snap back into reality. Just because you see the crowd doing it, don't mean it's right. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
uh, uh, 100 people doing it, they're gonna talk about the two people over there that's not doing it. Are you gonna go with the two people that's not doing it, or the 100 that's talking about the two people? You probably Most people will
yeah,
go with that 100 because they're gonna be like, "Oh man, I ain't finna be over there with them getting talked about." But then when at the end of that game, those two people is the ones that's gonna be the one that probably got to say these motherfuckers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Real talk, real talk. I say, like I said, I don't have nothing against them. It's just I don't feel like particularly kids should be coerced into becoming something that they're not by people that are older and have influence. Because kids
or
look up to adults.
or even like for this. Now this is just my opinion because this is a conversation I had with somebody at the swap meet a few days ago, and we're talking about sports, and it was a guy and his wife. She seemed like she played sports. Maybe she played for the other team before, but not now. And she had said something about Dwayne Wade, and I was like, "Oh man, Wade was a hell of a baller." And then she was like,
Mm.
"Yeah, he got a beautiful family, beautiful daughters, and everything." And I said, "Beautiful daughters?" And she said, "Yeah, his oldest daughter, Zaya." And I said, "Well, I mean, he has beautiful children. She said, why you?" She said, "Why you can't acknowledge the fact that he has an older daughter now?" I said, "You know what?" I said, "I'm not going to even go down that route with you because you're going to try to make it seem like I'm crazy or something like that because you trying to tell me I want to dress the biological boy as a good looking daughter."
Well, I'll
So,
tell you something else, country, and I'm
yeah.
not trying to cut you off, but it's like indirectly, you know, in the same category that you're speaking upon. And
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
honestly, it's one thing, and they can call me sexist, homophobic, whatever they want to call me, which I'm not neither. But for any respectable person, anybody who has any sanity left in them, and as far as I'm concerned, you have no sanity left in you if you're thinking like this. For a person to feel that they can put a man on the same in the same sport participating against a woman and think that is right, something is mentally wrong with them. I'm saying it. Something is mentally wrong with them. If they think that a testosterone induced man won't be able to dominate a woman, something's wrong with them. And to sit up and go for it at the same time, please. Something's wrong with them people. I'm telling you, something is really wrong with them. Yeah. And most of them obviously don't have a daughter because a daddy will destroy one of those guys over his kid. So no, no, no. They can say what they want about me, and like I said, I'm not homophobic. I mean, when out at the airline country, I got along with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody got along with me, and
It was
we
all
had no
love, no
problem
hate up
with
here.
none whatsoever. We got along with everybody, gay or non-gay. Everybody was the same. But this is a whole different scenario here. When you talk about putting a man's physical ability up against a female. God made man, God made woman. He gave men the ability of strength. They gave women the ability to breed.
Yeah.
Now, what's the difference? In one aspect, man is stronger than a woman. And in another aspect, listen to me close. In another aspect, women are way stronger than men. You know what I'm getting at?
Shit. Yeah, I agree. Hell, I agree.
You know, they're way stronger. Cause ain't no way in West Hell a man could have a baby.
Nope.
Ain't no
Some of them
way.
think they want to.
Yeah, they'll end up on a slab, thinking they can do that. They'll end up on a slab somewhere. You know, I know all those black girls that they have been taking and kidnapping and killing and taking their reproductive organs to try to experiment with that. They'll put it in some psycho man that think he can have one. He'll realize is that movie Alien was for real. Cause when that sucker busts out his motherfucking ass ain't gonna wake back up. His shit gonna be tore all the fuck up. But a woman can, a man can't. So that aspect, a woman is stronger than a man, and the physical aspect, men are stronger than women, and it's shown in and out. That's why a man will go to jail for whooping up on his wife. The
Yeah.
men know that it's wrong. They know men are stronger. Okay, so don't sit up and say, "Oh, you're homophobic because you don't want a a woman beating up on." No, I don't want to see no man beat the shit out of no woman. And I think it's a disgusting thing for a man, woman, gay, straight to think other.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Well,
So
we've witnessed a male beat the shit out of a woman in the past Olympics recently, in that boxing match, so
yeah,
they made it official and banned that person. And also the NCAA swimmer, I think Leah Thomas or Thompson, the transgender swimmer is not able to compete in women's swimming anymore. And you still got a handful of people saying, "Oh, that's not right. You should let them compete." And it's like, are you really telling me you will watch your daughter get her ass beat fighting a man on national TV?
exactly, exactly. And if they say so, they should let their daughter go off in there and fight a regular athlete to make sure they're telling the truth. Put her in there to fight a regular athlete, transgender person. Let's see if you're telling the truth.
I mean, and it's like you say, it's nothing about hate at all. It's and the media makes things seem like it's hate. No, this is some stuff that you see, especially in the black communities or what black communities experience in the workforce, because most of the workforce are white communities. And if you do work
Yeah.
for a black boss, they're not
Yeah.
a. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're not. You got a lot of billionaire owners who are black, but in this
Yeah.
area, the chances of you working for one of them are very slim. So the
Yeah.
9 out of 10, the job you're gonna get is a corporation, white employer, stockholder, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
like you deal with a lot of this stuff because you as a black person in the workforce, you get put at the bottom of the totem pole. Like no matter what, you can be the most educated person there, most certified person at that position, but you still gonna have to fight 3 to 4 times harder to show that you are qualified when they know you are already.
Yeah. 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 For sure. For sure. And be targeted. Forgot to mention targeted. They'll target you in a heartbeat.
Everyone's allowed to make multiple mistakes, but you as a black man or female, you're allowed to only make half of one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact.
And we've seen
Look
this.
at everybody already ready to hang Karen Bass right now.
They are.
They ready to hang her right now. But her
But people forget
predecessors got to
she's a
do
US,
everything
she
they
was a
want.
former US Congresswoman. She's not she wasn't she didn't come from a rinky dink, no disrespect to nobody in these positions. She didn't come
Yeah.
from no district assembly office and shit like that. She
Yeah.
was a US Congresswoman who said, I'm gonna come
Yeah.
back to my city and take on this position because it's in a shithole right now. She knew what was
Yeah.
coming about. You think this probation, that juvenile hall, that lawsuit payout, that 4 billion? Do you think that she didn't know that was coming? She knew sooner or later it was gonna happen. It happened under her
Yeah.
term.
Yeah. 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 And she had nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with it. But the sitting mayor is going to get the heat for everything.
Yeah. 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 That was stuff that was Villa Ragosa stuff and the other guy was the mayor after him?
Newsom.
Huh? No, the mayor.
Newsom. Oh, mayor. After Villaraigosa.
Was it Cruz or something like that?
Shit. Damn, that's crazy. No,
After Villa Ragosa?
that's a good question, man.
It was it was well, in any event, it wasn't her. And it was other people. We'll just say other people. It wasn't her. And but she
Eric
got
Garcetti.
yeah. Eric Garcetti, yeah.
Was it Gil Garcetti's yeah, Eric
Son.
Garcetti. And it's
Yeah,
so
yeah, Gil
crazy, man. I couldn't think of the name at all because when we used to work at the airlines, he would fly out on our airlines going to a certain place a lot. Damn, the full
Yeah,
moon tonight in LA. It is bright out in LA.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, but like I say, it wasn't, it was bound to fall on her and they all giving her hell and stuff, but you know what? If they gave her a good chance or a fair chance, they would be better off, but they're not, you know. They're not. And that's cold too. That's
Yeah,
cold.
you know.
Basically because she's black.
Yeah, and they can't say it's like can't say she only about her people. She was married to a Hispanic man, didn't bear children with him, but she took care of his children, which she still does today, like they're her own. So it's not
Yeah,
about race with her. And like we tell a lot of people with the black people, when they make everything that seems like coming from us as hatred and racial. No, like the black people are the most accepting race. There's a story online right now. You can search it up on Facebook, on Google, whatever. There's this 57-year-old white man. He's saying he's a veteran. He's homeless for the first time in his life. He said white people are cruel. He's white. He's with white. They're cruel. They talk about me and all this. Then some of the people who even know me, they don't help me. I came to the black community. They fed me, let me sleep on their couch, gave me clothes, everything till I got on my feet.
yeah, yeah. And that's true too. It's true about black people. People that hate them, they welcome them. You know, because we're the most religious people there are. To be truthful, I mean, actually live by it to where we don't have spur hatred towards everybody that hate us. You know?
So I mean, is that a like we have some people that will say that that's a curse, and in this situation, this guy basically said it without saying that he went to people who look like him and they didn't help him. Is that the fact that that people who may be white know that a lot of black people are brainwashed by religion, and he know he can get help from people that maybe some people of his ancestry slain their people?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, you know what? That's just us, though, man. You know, we know what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? Historically, I mean, the racism from us is embedded by it's systematic. You know what I mean? They teach everybody to hate us, every nationality to hate us. That's a fact.
They come here
That's
scared
a
of
fact.
us already. How
Yeah,
many how many people we seen at the airlines working when they would come with those I think the OIM program where they would have refugees come through. It would be, families from the Philippines, Vietnam, families of 4, 5, 6, or even some that were like Russian families or Slovakian families. They were coming over here, and they would talk to us like shit, like coming
yeah,
through the airport or looking at us like shit, and like, wait a
yeah,
minute, like are you serious? But this
yeah,
is what they taught.
yeah. Exactly. They taught that. All of them taught that before they even come over. That's why so many Asians like that. You know, and I know a lot of my buddies that are Hispanic. They tell me it's like, yeah, I grew up. My dad, taught us, about black people. Blah blah blah. He didn't like black people. And that's just stuff that people they'll learn substant from our government teaches them that. It's systemic, and they learn that early. But
It
I mean, you
is.
know what? But other people, but their kids, a lot of their kids, they're not like that because they've been around blacks, you know, and they're not like that. And the ones that did all the warring and stuff back in the days, the mafia had them do that, you know. They had to take orders. So that's just the way it is, man. But I mean, everybody that's doing stuff like that have no illusion, country. You know, it ain't about nationalities. It's about people.
Yeah.
Not red, not brown, not black, not white, not yellow. It's about people, and every person, because, you know, they don't have faith, for one thing. And if they do, they don't believe it. But when one thing I found out about man, though, and you tell me if I'm wrong, tell me this, E, because I've seen it, over the
Yeah.
decades I've been alive. When I've seen people be a certain way, mean, tough, murder, this, that. But every person that I've seen right before they die, they'll go to God and ask God to forgive them. The baddest, the meanest, the most prejudiced, the
yeah.
most this murdered, you know, and it makes me laugh. I say, yeah, because, God's supposed to forgive you for everything you've done right before you die. I'll be thinking in my head, okay, keep believing that. In essence, you're trying to say God is stupid. He's gonna let you know when that hot magna hits your ass, you're gonna be like, oh, I was wrong. Damn, this shit hot. You know, so they can keep thinking that shit if they want. But they're gonna have a hot motherfucking reality when that time comes. And that's real talk, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Like I say, everybody, respect opinions, you know what I'm saying? Let me ask you this question. This I got one more question for you, and this is something that's going it's pertaining to some of these subjects, but divert a little bit. So, just trying to get your thoughts on this. on the Hinton trial. You know, that guy that unalived the officer for killing his son. Um, you know, what does it reveal about the justice system and the society at large, in your opinion?
I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware about that.
I'm pretty sure you are. This is the it's been all over the news. That cop Hinton, I mean not the cop, the Hinton that's in, not the cop, the father of the 18-year-old who was killed by the police, and the next day he went and killed an officer,
Oh, he ran him over.
ran him over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I heard about that one.
Yeah. So I say my question to you, you know, your thoughts about that, you know, what does it reveal about the justice system and society at large, you know, today? In your opinion.
It hasn't changed much. It hasn't changed much, and it's changed for a lot of people, but it hasn't changed for us much. And one
Why
thing that
is that?
you know what, one thing that's always been embedded in American history is justice. The clock turns slow. It's been like that forever, and particularly for us. So I mean, it's turned. It's just turning slow. It's turning slow. But like I say, it's gonna turn slow. But you know what? When Father come, they gonna wish it was turning slow.
Well, you see,
Cause he's gonna
and
come like a thief in the night, and it's gonna get hot on their asses.
well, see, is that the problem though? Is some people sitting around praying too much? Have you ever heard that saying? Some people just sitting around praying too much. You know, faith without works is dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, is some people
Yeah,
just sitting around praying too much, waiting for that bag out the sky to fall in their lap?
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I mean, people gonna believe what they want to believe. You know, I mean, you think that man? Do you think that man was that back off in 80 82 when he jumped out that airplane with that parachute opened up? And when he was asking God to save him, when he hit that front line and he was still alive, you don't think he had no faith?
I
I'm
don't think
pretty
so.
sure you don't think so.
Because he wouldn't have did it in the first place.
Well, he lived.
Oh, you talk about that? I thought you talking about somebody else.
I'm talking about the skydiver.
The sky. Okay, no, I thought you talking about somebody else. My bad.
Yeah, I'm talking about the skydiver.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, would you call that faith or luck? Some people say faith, some people say luck. I'm just asking you from your opinion.
I don't believe in that much luck. I don't believe in that much luck. I don't. Oh no, 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 no. Not that much luck. Ain't that much luck in the world. Ain't that much luck in the world. No.
Yeah,
That's God, bro. You know, and have like I say, have no illusion. He'll be back. And like I say, all these people, you know, it's gonna be. And I mean, I'm there. If I'm there, and I'm looking out, you can't sit up and smile and be happy. But what you could be thinking is like they thought it was a joke, you know. And I wonder, deep in your mind, you already said you like. I guess they're not laughing now, huh? That shit is hot than a motherfucker.
well, like I say, some people don't believe fat meat is greasy.
You know? Like I say, when that hot magnet hit their ass, And, like I said, and this is only my opinion. I
Yeah,
mean, you could think about it, country. Now, land was brought out of the ocean from the volcanoes, correct?
yeah,
Okay, so we're surrounded by all volcanoes around this whole planet. God said it was going to be fire that burns it all. Now, could be a nuclear war, but I think that molten lava gonna hit the asses, and these motherfuckers gonna be on their tippy toes like, oh shit, nah, that ain't gonna help you, motherfucker.
Yeah,
So she's gonna get a hot for a lot of these motherfuckers and motherfucking, they gonna burn, bro. They gonna burn. And you know what? Ask and you shall receive. I mean,
yeah.
how do Ronald Reagan say when he get on that commercial? I ain't scared to burn and go to hell. Well,
He
when that
said it.
hot magnet, huh?
Said he said it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when that hot magnet hit his ass, don't be crying out talking about you sorry and forgive me and all that shit. Take that shit like a man, you know? Take it like a man.
What he
You
gonna
know?
say? Me and Bill Henley gave that boy our apple. You should bless me.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, man. They don't have a clue, you know. They don't have a clue. And these motherfuckers, they following Trump, thinking this motherfucker's their savior.
Well, some people can't even spell their last name, but think they know politics. So they don't know who to follow.
Yeah, for real. For real. Like I say, like
Well,
all those black people was that off in Philadelphia I was telling you about. They're
yeah,
talking about Kamala. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you dumbass motherfuckers. I was like y'all talking about Kamala. You talking about she's stupid. She gave the biggest insurance deal in the country ever. Saved
yeah,
all of the 49 states, the other 49 states other than California naturally first because she's in Cali. But all the rest of them followed suit and got discounts when they were going to be blown out of the water if it wasn't for her.
yeah.
But she was stupid. I'm like, these motherfuckers are dumb as fucking dirt.
Anybody with a law degree can't be stupid.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what they said. That's what the insurance company said. It went right back to her and
Yeah,
said they agree with her and they're gonna kiss her ass. And
yeah,
you're right. Y'all got $33 million, 33 million cars out there, and we want to be a part of it. We're sorry. We apologize. Get the fuck out of here, you stupid motherfuckers.
yeah,
Dumb as dirt. Dumb as dirt. They don't know nothing about negotiating. They don't know nothing, man. They calling her dumb. I'm like, these motherfuckers, I don't know. Who, where's Philly? That's not South, huh?
no, Philly,
That's Mideast.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right. Philadelphia is sort of southwest to
Midwest?
New York.
Okay. Okay.
It's on the East Coast.
Yeah. I thought it might have been like Midwest. Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, but
They East
in
Coast.
any event, in any event, they was talking so dumb, man. Like I said, I don't never comment on shit like that. But I had to let them motherfuckers know, man. And when I told them, I said, yeah, she's smart. I told them, I said, she's a attorney. She's a not just attorney. She's a AD for California, DA for California. What do you guys do for a living? They didn't even comment back, country. They didn't
Probably
even
say,
comment back.
I'm the assistant cart pusher at Family Dollar, and my husband he's the supervisor.
What you say? He talking about, we broke the motherfucking record out here in Philadelphia, motherfucker. I turned in 5,000 aluminum cans, motherfucker, and I'm rich, motherfucker. So what you got to say? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. It's your world. It's it's your world, Scarface.
Yeah, that's how. Well, like I said, that's just the mentality of a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? But Man, shit, we've been over here for on here for about an hour, man. Before we get up out of here, man, you got something you want to say to these people, man? Go ahead. I'm gonna give you a solo, man. Like whatever you gotta say. But you know what, man? Before I let you go, man, something I read earlier, I think the courts have agreed something with Trump and the Venezuelans, something where they're allowing him to send Venezuelans back who pose a threat or who have some kind of criminal ties. So basically, they're giving Trump more of a push to do what
Leeway.
he do.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
You know what? I think it's a bunch of bull crap. But I mean, what I want to ask you is, what do you think about? And this is gonna be something I think everybody should think about. What do you think about? Okay, Trump put what, 4 people in the Supreme Court, something like that, 3 to 4 people in there, 4 people, and they wouldn't be in there for him, but and they gave him a order to send that one guy back, and he's not gonna do it. So he's not being loyal to the people that he put in there. They're not being loyal to him, letting him do what he want to do. So, what do you think is going to happen with him? Because obviously, the Supreme Court really can't do nothing to him. They can't do absolutely nothing to him. I'm sure he knows that, and Congress ain't going to do nothing to him. So, what do you think the solution is on that?
I mean, well, right now they got to come up with a solution because I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna rub it in a lot of people's faces for what alleging and according to his administration, the Biden administration tried to do to him before he got in office. So, I mean, um, it's gonna be a shit show. I put it to you like that. President Trump, he's accepting expensive gifts from other countries, like the new 747 plane. So
Yeah,
it's a lot of upsetting going on in a new party towards the old party. So, like I
yeah,
said, it's just a shit show. It's hard to call right now. President Trump's approval rate has dropped drastically in the first 100 days from election. So, a lot of people who may have been with him are mad at him. But again, to answer your question, it's tough to say. It's just gonna be a shit show until somebody come through with some knowledge and set shit straight. Maybe we may find our own brother, like in Africa, that Tory guy over here.
I doubt that. One thing is, you know what? From what I do understand, that the no crafts, the Democrats, the no crafts, whatever you want to call them, they're about as weak as a fucking pumpkin seed in a damn watermelon patch. But nevertheless, they're not doing nothing. They're not trying to do nothing, but they're trying to wait on the midterms. And it's like a lot of people say, by the midterms, it'll be too late. You know, it'll be too late. It just won't be nothing left. Everything will be sold up and sold by then. And Project 25 will be complete. And once it's complete, you either have a civil war or you submit. Those are the only 2 options.
Yeah,
That's all I see. It'll either be a civil war or you submit. They ain't gonna have no choice. He's not
yeah,
gonna
man.
submit. His peeps ain't gonna submit.
You're right. I
So
mean, you're right.
mm,
You are right,
it'll
man.
be it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
But like I say, man, why don't you go ahead and give the people some words real quick before we get up out of here, man. Like I say, this is the West Warriors Sunday interview with my boy Don, man. He came through with some real knowledge again. No hate here, man. It's just opinions, what I'm saying? Stuff that we've been through, went through, and going through right now and experience. But like I say, man, go ahead, Don. Go ahead, tell the people something they can use in their life and in their everyday work life.
The one There's one word I can come up with. Some people can relate to it, some people can't. But if you can't relate to it, then you lost and you need to get a hold of it. Or 2 words. Two words. The first word is love. It's a big word. If you don't have love in your life, you're going to have a hard time because love isn't just with a woman. It's with family. It's with friends. It's with your kids. It's whatever. You got to love people to start knowing how to treat other people and how they're going to treat you. Because without love, all you're going to have is anger, hate. You're not going to care about nothing. And a person that doesn't care about nothing or anybody is subject to do anything. If you're subject to do anything, you're subject to be either incarcerated for the rest of your life or you get got. Either way it goes is for not have is for the lack of love in your life. So you need to get love in your life. Rather it's your girl, your kids. Because some people don't even love their kids. Some people don't love their girl. Some people don't love their parents. But you got to get love in your life. You can get love through God. God can help you with your love amongst people, society, your fellow mankind. But you got to get love in your life. Because that hate, trust me, it's going to catch you. It's going to catch you, and it's powerful. Hate is as powerful as love. It is more luxurious. It's more delightful than love. Hate offers you money. Hate offers you drugs. Hate offers you women, different kind of women, money, death. So you got to get love in your life. Secondly, the second word, God. Got to have him in your life. Get God in your life, you'd be surprised if you really get him in your life. Because some people say, oh, yeah, I pray, I do this, I do that. Trust. God knows what's coming out your heart. Like I was telling E earlier, the guy 50,000 feet up, opened up his parachute back off in the 80s, and he landed on the grass. He's still alive. Who you think helped him survive? You get God in your life, everything's possible. Been a lot of times, and I'm sure there's a lot of people you done heard say, I've been saved. I know I've been saved a lot of times. You got them in your life, you will survive. You will survive because things is going to get hot. They're going to get hot. It's going to get confusing. You're going to have people you think you like, people that you think like you, and you're going to be tricked. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's going to happen before. It's going to happen again. Only it's going to be on a wider basis. It's going to be people that you know, people you love. You feel that y'all tight. Next thing you know, poof, without God, you got food. So all I can say is keep your head on a swivel, do your prayer, find some people that you love. Some people don't get along with their family, don't love people in their family. But I know there's somebody out there. You might be a singular person in a big swimming pool and feel like you're the only one that's there. But there is someone there that will love you and you'll love them, and y'all can communicate with one another. Start with one, never know. Can expand to others. Next thing you know, you have love all around you. But you got to have love because without love, you come on, you can't trust everybody. And you'll be able to filter out the ones that ain't got love for you. You ain't got love for them. You got to have love for people. You're not going to love everybody. Everybody ain't going to love you. But you got to love somebody. That's what I got to shoot out there. E. Let them know that, you know what? You ain't by yourself. Don't ever think you by yourself. Because there's always somebody that can be there for you. Real talk.
That's what's up, man. We appreciate you coming through, man. Like I say, there's always somebody there for you. Get back to loving your family, your friends. That's what you need. A little more love, man. Let the love outweigh the hate, and then the hate to eliminate. Um, we got to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, man, communication could turn into a past love brung back. Sometimes it's just a communication that needs to be had, mend some old friendships or whatever. But again, like I said, it's west of the
You
110.
mean like the tall chick country?
The who?
The tall chick.
Hey man, I'm telling you, hey, see Don messing with us, man. He need to let us go ahead and drop that prank, man.
I told you to go ahead, man.
Well, we'll see. Maybe next week. I gotta edit it up, man.
Please still, man. I mean, she already told me it wasn't her, so oh well. It's
All right.
not you. You feel me?
Real talk, real talk. But like I say, man, we're gonna catch y'all Monday live, 7 p.m. You know, west side of the 110, Facebook, Twitch, you know what I'm saying, and YouTube. Real talk don't end. It just take a break. So we're gonna see y'all